a few violations which are there. One is the legal appointment of the chief officers. A chief officer, and a name has been brought, evidence has been adduced. That is on page 296 of our document, that is on volume 2. The appointment of Kenneth Riungu as chief officer without the approval of the county assembly. Honorable Senators and Mr. Speaker, the County Government Act, that is section 45, provides for appointments of chief officers and the method. The governor nominates from a list which has competitively been sourced by the County Public Service Board, and once the nomination has been undertaken, the name is forwarded to the Assembly for vetting under the provisions of the Public Office, that is the County Assembly's Public Approval Act. This particular chief officer, nobody has disputed his appointment. Nobody has said here, the governor, the witnesses, nobody has said that Kenneth Mwiti Riungu has not been appointed or does not discharge the functions of the chief officer. This evidence has been produced. We do submit that the appointment has been produced, the evidence of the appointment has been produced in form of the letter dated 23rd August 2023, which contain a list of appointments which the governor made. And in that list, you will see the name of Kenneth Riungu being appointed as a chief officer. The County Assembly of Meru has never vetted this particular individual, and this particular individual still discharges the functions of a chief officer in Meru. This is a violation of section 45 of the County Government Act. The other appointment was the acting appointment of chief officers. Mr. Speaker, the same letter contains the names of several chief officers who were appointed. That is Edwin Mutuma Murangiri, Kenneth Gitobu Nikata. These were appointed as acting chief officers without the requisite competitive recruitment and recommendations by the County Public Service Board. Evidence has been produced in form of a memo by the County Public Service Board warning the chief officers against making acting appointments without the authority of the County Public Service Board. And the County Public Service Board, in the same letter, in the same memo, says any appointments made without the approval or without the authority of the County Public Service Board, such appointments shall be null and void. These individuals, the governor has admitted that these were directors. We found them there as directors, and they appointed them as acting chief officers. Mr. Speaker, I've never, in my brief history in life, that is, I've never seen a director being appointed a permanent, that is a principal secretary. In case there's a vacancy in the office of a principal secretary, one of the principal secretaries doubles in that particular office, because the appointment for that particular office is special and specific. You cannot pluck in an individual from the ground and make that particular individual an acting chief officer. So this one is a demonstration that the governor usurped the powers of the County Public Service Board and made this illegal and irregular appointments. Of course, there was the issue of appointment of traffic marshals. That violation has been demonstrated. The County Public Service Board, in their letters, they are very clear that they have not approved such appointments. They have demonstrated the same, but in the bundle of document, you can see the same traffic marshals wearing uniform, riding motorcycles, and the governor posting on WhatsApp that these are going to be my frontline officers to make Meru the next city. Who appointed them? The governor circumvented the powers and functions of the County Public Service Board and by herself appointed these particular individuals. The other appointment, the other violation was in regard to, with regard to sending the 4 CEOs of the corporation, that is the parastatals in Meru. That is Dr. Ntoiti, the CEO of County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, who testified here, the CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi, the Managing Director. These are CEO of statutory corporations. They're employees of the boards. They're not the employees of the governor. What the governor did, through the county secretary, of course, they were sent on compulsory leave with pay. It only took the intervention of court after 1 year. That's when they have resumed their duties. The boards are the ones which recruit. The boards are the ones with the statutory powers to suspend or exercise disciplinary control over their CEOs. It is not the governor crossing over. I've never seen it in this country where a head of a parastatal, the CEO of a parastatal, when there is a duly constituted board, is sent home by State House. Maybe this one is new. The other one, the other violation is this particular one. Those are the violations. We do submit that this is the second time the governor is still being accused of usurping the powers and functions of the board. And with respect to count 4, Speaker, we do submit that the count has been proved. The last 2 counts, which I'm going to move quickly, is contempt of court. Evidence has been submitted here. How, despite the existence of court orders from Nyeri Employment and Labor Relations Court, the governor for 1 year disregarded those orders. And what the court has done, the court has convicted the governor. As we sit here today, the governor of Meru is a convict. She has already been convicted for contempt of court. That is a violation of Article 181, 1B of the Constitution, whereby, which constitutes a ground that where there is a, which provides that where there is a serious reason to believe in that a county governor has committed a crime under the national law. The governor has already been convicted by the High Court in Meru. She's only awaiting sentence. She has not discharged the conviction. She has not appealed the conviction. That ground has already been proved. That is contempt of court. The last, the other one, of course, was illegal naming of the road. That one is okay. That one, we have said it's there. The evidence has been produced. The governor has been shown the Facebook posting whereby she's naming the road in the name of her husband. Lastly, I'll take the last one is contempt of the assembly. Madam Speaker, Section 22 of the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act provides an impeachable ground for anybody who is a public officer who violates, who dishonors the summons of the assembly. The governor was invited to appear before the committee of the county assembly. And what she did, when she was invited, she wrote back a letter and said, there is no provision of the law which requires the governor to appear before the committee of the assembly. Yet, Article 195 of the Constitution is very clear that a county assembly or any of its committees can require, can invite, can summon. The word is summon anybody to appear before the committee to provide evidence or to give information. Section 18 of the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act provides, enacts the same provision and uses the word any person. When the governor, our officers were invited, when the governor specifically was invited, her defense was that the assembly goes to the High Court, files a constitutional case, seeks a constitutional interpretation whether the governor can be invited, can be summoned to appear before the assembly. Yet the Constitution uses the word any person. At Section 22 says that where the assembly passes a resolution against an individual for violating that particular provision, that shall constitute a ground for removal from office. And that's why you see this ground, and Honorable Sifuna asked it, what is a contempt of county assembly, whether it constitutes a violation. That is the only violation I've ever seen in law whereby it makes it an impeachable ground for violating, for failing to honor the summons of the county assembly. The assembly can pass a resolution and request and impeach you. And that is what the county assembly of Meru has done. And we do submit that this count, together with the other 6 counts, have been substantiated. The assembly has demonstrated the same. And finally, my colleague Mr. Mudomi has mentioned about is the governor individually liable for that particular violation? She has said all these things were done by the county secretary. He has mentioned about the provisions of section 30, subsection 3. Section 30 of subsection 3 of the County Government Act, which will be my last section. That way, I just want to repeat what he has said. Section that talks about the governor shall be accountable for the management and use of county resources. The governor cannot run away and say, I was not the one. It was done by this officer. It was done by the county secretary. The law places the accountability at the hand of the governor. So the governor of Meru cannot run away from these allegations and say that they were done by others, that it was not her. Mr. Speaker, with that, I rest my case.
The counsel for the governor, you may now proceed to make your closing statement. You have exactly 1 hour, starting now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.